Now, correct me if you've heard this before. You probably heard someone that's been like, oh my God, I'm so busy. I'm just so back to back. I've got this massive backlog of I need to deal with. This is just something which is, I guess, a 21st century phenomenon which is affecting a lot of people. We're trying to do too much at once. In today's society, it's quite easy to fall into the trappings of feeling that you don't have enough time. But now, at this point in history, it seems that we actually have the highest standard of living ever compared to any other point in time. Nowadays, we're able to live longer. We have more access to living spaces and accommodation, have food, clean drinking water. The odds couldn't be more stacked in your favor, but it just seems that we don't have enough of the thing that is actually the most valuable resource on the planet, which is time. Here are 3 things that I do to save time on a regular basis. Now, the first thing I do is use a planner. Studies have shown that we're more likely to stick to something if we actually write it down on a piece of paper, because it means that we actually intend to do the thing at some point. We're actually looking at it in a different perspective. So when I plan my days, this is usually if I got like a whole, let's just say, day off, like a Saturday or Sunday, I just tend to write what I'm going to do hour by hour. And it sounds kind of strict. I guess sometimes it can be, so I can be a bit like loose with that. But what it does, it gives me an idea of how much time I've actually got available, how much I've got to waste on things that I actually want to do, how much I want to do on the stuff that is quite meaningful, purposeful to myself, like doing YouTube videos. I actually dedicate more time to the things that I enjoy than expected. So if I'm going to meet a friend, I'm always going to expect that it's going to run over a little bit. You're always going to be talking and enjoying yourself and just losing track of time. That is just something that happens to anyone. So I always dedicate extra time to that. So that way, if I do run over, I'm still within my time budget. The thing is, with time, it's a resource that we spend regardless if we need to or not. But if you're a bit more intentional with how you're spending it, you can dedicate time to doing the important things. But you can also take time and spend it on the things you enjoy doing. People look at time management as if it's going on a diet. You have to eliminate all the fun stuff and stick to something quite bland. But you should always give yourself a bit of leeway. No one's perfect. Having a planner is also really useful for remembering birthdays, to-do lists, other miscellaneous things that you have to do throughout the week that might not be a main priority. It's just good to have all these things in one book or one planner, so that way you can keep your eye on the ball and not get distracted. And the second way you can save time is by using apps that restrict your smartphone. Now, something I've done recently is download this app called Opal. And what's really interesting about Opal is that it actually has reminded me how much I actually use my smartphone and how much time I've probably wasted from just getting bored sometimes, feeling I need to entertain myself. But it's been absolutely game changing. I'm not sponsoring this app at all, but Opal, if you guys are watching, yeah, definitely hit me up. That's what I do between around 9 AM to 5 PM. I actually set a restriction on specific apps on my phone through Opal. The kind of apps I find myself restricting are things like Facebook, Instagram. Occasionally I'll put like a block on YouTube as well because I can get a bit distracted with that. And what I've learned is that since your phone is such an easy access point for just mindless entertainment, when I do go on my phone, because the normal stuff which entertains me is off limits, I will actually be more likely to read investing articles, do non-essential and essential tasks, plan my financials. And it just goes to show that something like a smartphone, when it's used in the right way, can be very productive. It can enhance your life in such a big way. But if it's used in the wrong way, you actually lose so much time overall. So it's actually good to have an app like this, so it keeps you on your toes. Outside of the 9 AM to 5 PM duration, which I can't use these apps, once I can use these apps, when I'm outside of this duration, I can only use them for 1 hour. So I've got 1 hour to scroll all the social media, watch all the feeds on my Instagram and stuff. And it makes it quite precious. I'm being more intentional with this app because I realized, oh my God, I've only got an hour to go on YouTube, to go on Instagram and stuff. And it just goes back to the point of just being intentional with your time. You're less likely going to be distracted. You're less likely going to be just scrolling your phone when you're with your friends or you're with your colleagues at work. In a world where we're getting distracted by technology, this is a step in the right direction. Trust me. Now, a final way you can save time is by actively avoiding TV. Now, I make an exception for this rule. I'll only watch TV properly if I'm with family or maybe friends, because it's a bit more of a social experience. You can talk about it. And it also means you're less likely to binge watch, because the things with binge watching is very easy practice to do when you're by yourself. And especially with things like Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, you're more likely to be encouraged to just do mindless consumption of the TV series that you're watching. Then there comes a point you probably don't even enjoy watching it and you're just watching it because it's just this habit you've picked up. Now, I'm not the best at this. Sometimes there's TV series that come around once every year or every other year, like House of Dragon, The Boys, and I find it quite hard to escape the addictive binge watch mentality when these things come out. But the thing is about watching TV is that it's essentially an admission that you've got nothing better to do with your time in that given moment, which is fine. Like, most of us need to actually chill out once in a while. But that being said, if a TV series has got like 6 seasons, that's a lot of hours of television. And if you get addicted to that, you're going to sink quite a few hours into that during the week. And then what happens once it finishes, you're going to try and replace that with something. So what it becomes is that this never-ending circle of you not being able to properly manage your time because you're watching a TV series. But it's being able to separate the need to watch TV from the need to do things that are actually meaningful and going to contribute a great deal of purpose and success to your life. Anyway guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, comment, like and subscribe, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next video. Onwards and upwards guys. Take care.